And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Factorio. Alright, a few things to update everybody on. First, I have a new monitor. So, my other monitor was, some of the backlighting went out on my other monitor. And so the top half of my screen was considerably darker than the bottom half. So I had to get a new monitor. And so the new monitor has a different native resolution. It is actually 1080p. The other one was 1920 by 1200, which is why my videos, if you were playing it on a 1080p, were either stretched or had some black bars. And the new monitor is, 1920 by 1080. So the resolution has changed a little bit. New monitor is looking excellent. It's a Asus gaming monitor. And so yeah, that was an expense that I didn't think I was going to have, but yeah, we're up and running again. And so yeah, all OBS and all that kind of stuff had to change around, and so I think I got it all working. Let me know if it's not quite right for you. The other thing is, in the game here, I actually went through between last episode and this one, did quite a lot of work behind the scenes, and one of them was to figure out how we can supplement both the copper and iron for our greens, because as you may remember, this one belt was not nearly enough for the whole line. And so what we have here is the copper coming in and threading the needle in between these two lines coming back out. Oh, and look at that, it just kicked on. How about that? And so that copper comes in, gets split and decompressed, and then pushed back onto the belt here. And so we've got some more copper coming in, and up here it has to do it again just to get these last little tendrils up above here. The iron is coming in where the beacons are at. So you can see this iron coming in right in here. So this extra line of iron comes in and then threads in between where all of these are, comes in, decompresses, and then gets pushed right into the system right away. And again, I don't know if we did do it twice here. So as far as production goes, our green circuits, we are hitting 1.2 million green circuits a minute when this thing is like just going full blast. 1.2 million green circuits a minute. That is a new personal record in Factorio for me. And it still gets turned off when it's not being used because there are a lot of beacons in this place. So if we looked at our power consumption for the last minute, oh yeah, that's not gonna show me my power because that's not actually hooked up to power. How about this one? So the last minute, you can see our power goes to huge amounts, like huge amounts when that thing kicks on. Yeah, massive amount of power. So, I mean, we hit at least 22 gigawatts, 28 gigawatts there. I'm not sure how long ago this was, but that's 36 gigawatts. That's probably, yeah, that's after the evening. And so you can see accumulators coming up, and then as this goes back up, this is charging the accumulators, and then it's dropping back down to, where our normal is. But every one of these little peaks is one of my production facilities kicking on. And so when this kicks on, this starts draining copper and iron really, really fast. And so my copper and iron also kick on. And speaking of iron, I've doubled the amount of iron that we're able to smelt as well. So we've got the main iron smelting block here. I think I had maybe just 4 or 5 rows before. So I maxed that out. And then I doubled that again. And then I gated these up here behind, if this gets really low, these will get fed by the normal system. But if these get really low, then the secondary system kicks on as well, and starts feeding it that way. Copper, I have massively increased as well. We are able to produce a lot of copper circuits. So Let's see, what else? I added a bunch of ore capture areas. So as you can see, we've got copper, lots of copper here, some iron, and we've got a couple more spots where we're grabbing resources. So this might be one here coming up. Yeah, here's an iron, and we have a stone. So I'm grabbing this stone, and this is the first time I'm using the wide area electric drills. As you can see, here's the normal area. It's one around each side, so it's basically a 5x5. These are much, much bigger. These capture a huge area, and they're great for pushing in between rail lines, because you can grab even the stone that's underneath these things will grab. They're a little slower as far as their mining speed. They don't have as many module slots as these, but you know, for what it's worth, they'll be mining for a while. As you can see, like 12 million stone on this one. So yeah, there's a lot of stone that we can capture there. And the last thing I think I did is I added a lubricant setup into this, and we have now lube that we can load into trains, because I was looking at, you know, as we get closer to building the science packs, looking at some of these things, these are going to require flying robot frames, and flying robot frames are going to use electric engines, and electric engines use lubricant. So in order to get these going, we're going to need lubricant. So, you know, a lot of this other stuff is, you know, not going to be too dramatic. And I also, just for funsies, just, you know, for something to do, the further you get away from where you spawn in. Okay, so I spawned in right here. I got this nice framed area where we crash landed, and you know, I left this here on purpose. So this is just glorious. So we crashed in here, and the further you get away from spawn, the bigger the ore deposits become. Okay, so we have, you know, ore deposits here that are pretty decent size due to my map settings. They're still decent, right? But we're using many millions of each type of resource, and so I wanted to. I've never actually gone that far away from spawn in most of my games, and I thought, you know, let's travel out there. So I traveled a long ways out, and lo and behold, 500 million iron, 600 million, 450 million, this one up here, 760 million. Then we have almost a billion coal right here, not to mention crude oil, 206,000%. That's a decent amount of oil. And that's where I stopped. I was like, you know, this is a pretty good spot. And of course, we have logistics coverage all the way out here. And I did try to have some defense, and then we have periodically some artilleries, which is keeping a nice wide area. It was quite harrowing to build out here, because there was a lot of biters. As you can see, the biter bases become pretty crazy the further you get away. So yeah, we have a lot of resources that we can tap into. So much iron. I was really hoping to find some really beefy copper, but you know, it is what it is. Here's a decent amount right here. We have 200, that's 360, that's 700, that's about a billion copper right here. That's a pretty decent amount of copper. As you can see, I'm also researching. I'm just trying to get through some research here. You know, these are using our space science, and I don't know, do we even have? I have space science now gated. Let's zip back home. Main base. So space science is now behind how many are in here. If this drops below 10,000, this will put in another. This will put in another of the satellites, and this will just launch it with cargo. So it'll put another satellite in. This will launch it out. We'll get another 1,000 science packs, and then it'll build another rocket, and so on and so on. So yeah, it was just sort of a test to see how good that functions, and it functions really well. Of course, everything else is kicking on. Our wood is actually hurting right now. I'm thinking we're probably not going to be on wood based, on how many rockets we're going to need, because I want a goal of 10,000 science packs per minute of each type. So reds and greens will be easy. Those will be actually pretty simple, because we can actually put productivity modules in here, and we can module this up and get quite a lot of production out of pretty much all the science packs. But as you go up in the tier, of course, we're going to need lots and lots of stuff. So this is going to be sulfur and red, and then we're going to have to figure out a way to make a whole lot of engines, because that's going to be a huge amount of iron and a little bit of steel for all of those. And then we're going to need, a science research area to actually dump all of our science packs, to actually consume. To be able to consume that many science packs a minute, we're going to need quite a big area. So I have, what is this, lab? Yeah. I automated the labs because I want to use them in blueprints. I don't have to manually craft all the labs. So they're somewhere in the mall here. I'm not gonna fret too much about it. So we need to figure out what our first step is. Now we have basically all of the base resources. We have iron, we have copper right up here, we have greens, which I showed before, 1.2 million greens a minute, which is a lot. We have reds, which is down here. We have a huge amount of red circuit production capacity. I mean, it's massive. And then blues over here. And we don't need as much blues, but this can easily be expanded as needed. But yeah, it's a lot of blue production. Like a lot of blue production. And this has already backed up and completely full. Where's my blues? Way over here. Yeah. There's my blues. So blues are not gated. They're crafting. I don't have them power gated. They just craft until they're full, and then they slow down. So yeah, all these beacons in here are sort of just constantly drawing power, but I'm not worried about that. The setup is not nearly as big as, say, copper, with the many, probably hundreds of beacons that are in here. Not nearly as power hungry as something like that. So one thing I would like to do is today, let's try to quickly set up a gear production area. Gears are one of those things that we're going to need quite a lot of, and I would rather not have to craft them locally, for each setup. Like green circuit or green science are going to use basic belt and inserters, and both of those are going to use gears, and I'd rather not have to make them on site. I'd rather be able to train them in, because they are something that can be compressed. I did a whole lot of research of just miscellaneous things here, all of the roll ports, and did a little research just to do something, get somewhere in there. So ideally I would want this somewhere near iron, because it is way more efficient to move gears than move iron and then make gears, because it's a 2-to-1 compression, and I would rather not have to train in iron. It's one of the few production systems that I would rather not have to deal with, extra trains, just to have something that loads in gears, compressed gears, and then just feeds off of the iron. So I can either do that below here, or to the side. We have the ability to basically pull off of this thing and just move it over here and just have a line of gears. I think that's going to be our best bet. And this system, because of how it's centered around all of this other stuff, I might need to make this come off here, load in here, and then maybe go on back on the same side over here. Because we have a lot of access points, and I would rather not mess this up. So, oh, cannot reach. What? Cannot reach. Okay, I've found that this mod, for some reason, if anything changes, and the game version did change, you just set that back up, and you can then load it just fine. So we need to run down to our iron smelting setup, iron plate outpost. I've discovered that I can get hit by one train and survive. So one of those trains coming full blast down the line. Okay, I don't see any trains. So let's go up here. Now let's get rid of some trees. And some more trees. Just all of the trees. Trees and rocks. Alright. And I had to get this, I mentioned before, this stone setup here. I really needed that because our stone ran out right in here. We don't have any more stone. So bricks I already had loaded in here. Bricks are loaded in fine. But we actually needed a little stone for the rail for purple science. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun times. Where's a good spot to bring this up? I think right in here. Let's go back a little bit further. Right in here. Yeah. Actually, that's going the wrong direction. This one in here. Let's go back here. Now, do we have... We have a load center here. But I was trying to avoid this thing. So, if we maybe use the other one, this one. Like that. This is fine. I can take these out. That's no problem. They're superfluous anyway. Like that. All right. That's a nice queue system. Stretch this up. I need a little bit of headway here. And let's get those running that way. And let's see if we can't use... This is an unloading center. I think we might be able to use this basic one here. Yeah. This is unloading. Let's have 4 of these for unloading. And then loading. We can set up. Give a little distance. Something like that. Now what we could do is have these reconnect with the line here and have these go further on and reconnect somewhere else. That way the unloading and the loading are not confusing one another. Okay, and then we needed a chain signal right in here. Like that. And that chain signal dictates all of what's going on up in here. And then we want something like this. Actually, that was a mistake. I want to remove that. And then these are going the wrong way. And then Control X cuts them, and then we can flip them like that. All right, so these are going to be gears. Actually, I think I use the regular icon, gears, and I need iron. Okay, gears and iron, and then the color, let's just have it some dark grayish, like so, and then we can paste, paste, paste. And then over here, this is just going to be compressed gears, as that is what we're loading here. And then these can be maybe a brighter gray. Something like that. All right, so these are all loading gears, and these are all unloading iron. So now gears going to be fairly straightforward. We're going to want these to unload maybe into one. Let's do one main. Well, I just realized we don't need unloading of iron because we're going to be right next to it. So yeah, that's not necessary. So let's just do some gears up here. I would like some gears. So we're gonna want 1, 2, 3. This is gonna be gears. And we're gonna want productivity and beacons if I can find them. Beacon, 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 beacon. There they are. Something like that. Now, the iron is going to come in here. So I'm probably going to want... Let's see. Iron... Granted, these are going to consume a lot of iron, so I don't want to put very many of these on one line, because these are 180 items per second. These are going to consume a lot. I mean, their crafting speed is going to be up there. I wish I could tell what it's going to be beforehand, but I'm thinking like 4 of these on a line. On a single iron depositing line is about what my limit is gonna be. So I'm gonna come over here with this iron. So I'm gonna move this up a little ways. Like here. And then I'm gonna double. Well, I don't absolutely positively need this. I don't need speed, I need productivity. And if I compress this too much, I'm really not going to be able to put a lot of these on there. Plus this way they're all the same speed. I just have to figure out how we're gonna compress all of these down. So we're gonna have let's see. If I do something like this, how do we want to compress these? If we want thank you. I mean, we don't have to have loaders coming out. We can push directly into this via stack inserters. Like so. This can have a loader coming out. Like so. I'm trying to get a nice little pattern going here. Something that can be mirrored going this way. So if we want to do that, 1, 2, 3. And then copy that, flip it. Copy this. Oh, copy this, flip it. Like so. That'll leave me a lot of room to bring the next, the next set down. What am I attaching to here? I'm attaching, I'm attaching to something. I have no idea what it is. Okay. So these. Okay, let me detach these. Just there. No more conflict. Because we're not gonna be unloading iron anyway. So it is what it is. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff on the way. Look at that. Alright, so these can go away. I want to set these to output right seedling, output left seedling. That way we don't waste anything. Thought I copied. I guess copying doesn't copy the... Alright, now we need power. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, that's perfect. That is look how perfect that is! Oh, I love when stuff is that nice. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I guess this whole thing, we need... See, this is where it's not really tileable, because this is going to depend on the one below it. So I may need to redesign this a little bit. How about... I was so proud of that too. If we individualize it, let's do middle and middle. On second thought, let's do... See, that's a gap at 2. Like so. I just want to make sure when I tile it down here that it's going to work out for me. And just in case, I want to double that up. Because I can. Because why not? Okay, so this way up here and way down here. I'm going to copy you and rotate. And copy that one over. Alright, so those are all merged in, so I can go ahead and tile this. So this one here is going to require the same sort of setup as we have down there. This one here, similarly, this one here. Okay, and then this one, and it's kind of, it looks kind of weird and funky the way I have it, but it's tileable, and that's the important part, is it's tileable. So this one down here is going to be this, and this one's going to be this, and so these should match up. This one should match that one, no problem. A little bit of overhang here, and that's fine. And then every so often we have these. Well, we don't really need. Yeah, if these are going to be individual, we don't need to share. So this and that, and that. Like that, right? And then you and you. All right, I think that's basically the gist of it. So these should all match up. Although those are not nearly. Yeah, these are not matching. You can see there's an extra space here for some reason. Why did I do that? You and you. Did I not? Oh, I didn't cut. I didn't cut those. Never mind. There. Now they should match perfectly. Okay, so that is the gist. So if we paste this right here, you can see everything there is matching up nicely. And like I did before, I want to leave some space in here in case we need to insert extra iron. And before I do, let me blueprint this. This is going to be gears. So there's going to be Bob's assembly, Bob's logistics, and stacker. I think those are the only mods that I have. Again, I try to include in the description the mods that I need. This is going to be compressed gears. Like so. Just so I don't lose it. So that's a gap of 3 in between. Still getting used to this new monitor and resolution here. So I'm guessing after this many, I'm definitely going to need another set of iron. At least. if not before then, because wow, are we going to be using a lot. Oh, enemies actually attacking me. Look at that. They had to run a long ways for that. They were dedicated. They were marching on me for a while. All right, and so we're just going to load in some iron from over here. And I want to try to load this as far in as possible. And you as well. I'm bringing 2 of them with me. Remember, each one of these belts of compressed iron, each one of these is worth 25 regular belts uncompressed. So there's a lot of iron. There's a lot of iron here. Oh, you can see it dropped below 1,000, and that way this one kicked on. It's the first time I've seen that happen. Nice. And it builds up fast. Like it's a lot of iron. Like it's a lot of iron. Iron plate. Yeah, we're hitting about 800,000 iron a minute. It's it's a lot. Anyway, I'm marveling at my Uber. Ooh, that was a close call. Marveling at my Uber speeds here. Okay, so the output here, we're going to want offload, 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 offload. I don't want to have to place all of these. So these are going to be a full belt of iron coming down. All right. Well, we've almost hit 40 minutes. This is almost as long as 2 episodes. So we will continue this process next episode, and we'll see just how many gears we can produce and if we need to tweak this design at all. So yeah, I've gotten a few comments that, you know, said that they actually enjoy trying to figure all this stuff out on the fly rather than me working in between episodes or whatever to do all the sort of the work. They actually enjoyed seeing it happen in real time, which, you know, can be entertaining because boy, I get that messed up sometimes. But yeah, so I encourage anybody to comment and let me know what they think, and please like if you are enjoying this series so far, and you know, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and consider being a Patreon. Next month we are going to do streams in Factorio, and so it's going to be Factorio February, and if you want to get in on that on the Saturday streams, please consider becoming a Patreon now. That way you won't miss it. All right, and I'll see you next time.